Yeah. This is the Legacy League. Tell me what will your legacy be? Yeah, yeah. This is the Legacy League. Tell me what will your legacy be? Yeah, yeah.
We are back. Another Legacy League week is in the book. I am here with my co-host this week, Shaine Patrick. We are down a co-host in Dan Ruggiero this week. He is on a flight to Nashville, doing some foot stuff. Never know what that kid's up to. And we are joined here by our second player guest on the podcast, Spence Freeman. Spence, give a little what's up to everybody, why don't you?
Assalamu alaikum, what up? What's going down with it, man? Big Spence in the building. I've been waiting to get up on here. Swear to God, I've been waiting. Ever since last year, my first year in the league, I swear to God, when y'all was doing it, I'm like, this is like ESPN for real. They really be talking shit. Can I cuss? They really be talking stuff. Baby, I'm like, oh yeah, I like it. It's a good vibe, man. Y'all do really great. I promise you, I'm a big fan. I'm the first person. Y'all ever see a light? As soon as it go up, I'm the first person to watch it. I be at the desk with my headphones in, acting like I'm doing work. I don't be doing that. I got my headphones in. I'm like, oh, Low Post Podcast uploaded a video. Let me watch it real quick. See what they said. Carlton shit. Oh, it's fun. It's cool. I told my dad about it. He laughed harder than y'all. You know what I'm trying to say? It's hilarious though. It's a good vibe. I'm really glad to be here, man. I appreciate it for y'all even inviting me. So yeah.
Well, we appreciate you being here. And, we've been getting a lot of word from people around the league that they're enjoying the podcast this year. Cody Crawford came up to me yesterday and was saying that he really appreciates it. It makes it really fun. And we're probably going to try to get him on next week. So stay tuned if you guys listen. Cody Crawford will be our special guest in the upcoming weeks. And, I was talking to Cody. He said some guys don't like that we talk about our own team too much. But when you play for a team, it's hard not to talk about your own team. So, in Cody's words, if you don't like it, why don't you come on the podcast yourself and do it? So I appreciate you, Cody. We all do. And we know you listen. So thank you guys for that. And seriously, thank you guys for the love for the podcast. We work really hard on this to make it fun for you guys every week and fun for us. So we're going to get right into it this week. We're not going to recap the games too much. Joey does that with the interns on the Low Post Pod. So while we have our special guest here this week, kind of want to give you guys a little introduction to Spence. From what I know, Spence, Carlton, whatever you guys want to call him. Joey loves a nickname for him. Bubble Boy is the new nickname this week. So, we're going to give him his love. But for those of you that don't know, and Spence, correct me if any of this information is wrong. From what I know of Spence, that you guys might not know, is Spence is a member of the United States Coast Guard. We talked with Gian last week about being a member of the United States Marines. So it's really cool to have these guys here. We want to talk to you guys, talk to the listeners out there and kind of our goal is to get everybody to know who you guys are as people rather than players. And I think that's a really cool side that not everybody gets to see. With the league blowing up, we talked about that last week. Everyone just gets to kind of see people as basketball players and not as people too. So we want to do that. So talk to us a little bit about being from Ohio. That's close to my heart. That's where my mom's from. So talk to us about being from Ohio. Talk to us about being in the Coast Guard. Give us a little bit about yourself, Spence.
Hey man, I appreciate the introduction. So I'm from Columbus, Ohio, 614, born and raised out that way. My daddy, he from the South. He from Arkansas, Holly Grove, little small spot. You don't know about it. It's probably like a population like 400 folk out that way. My mama, she from India, so, my dad, he like on foreign, so here I am. That's how it is. That's how it be. But, yeah, man, I played ball my whole life. Ever since I was 9 years old, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. My daddy was like, you got to play a sport though, so I tried soccer. Well, for me, you know what I'm saying? Baseball, I got no swing. Don't ask me to go. I'm gonna go out there when you put that top golf, big man, you put that top golf out there, I'm ready to pull up. But don't judge me on my swing. It's like my 3-point shot in the Legacy League. It's a little off.
Hey, just keep practicing. Come and practice. I got you.
Honey. But yeah, man, I played ball my whole life. I played a bunch of AAU tournaments growing up, played in high school. Everything was good. I was never the best, but I swear to God, I had a lot of heart though. And I take it serious, but I also I don't let it really get to me too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm not 6 foot nothing. I'm 5'11". My daddy 5'7", my mama 5'4". I'm just blessed to be 5'11". You know what I'm trying to say? 1 inch too short for these hoes. But it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, man.
This is gonna be my favorite episode. I just know it.
It's gonna be everybody's. I wish Danny was here for this, but
I tried to tell him, my dad was like, you ain't going to the league. And all them C's on your report card don't stand for college. So what you gonna do? And I was like, man, I don't know. He said, you know what you need to do? You need to go to the Coast Guard. My daddy was in the Army. You know what I'm trying to say? He was in the Army, so he's always on my case. You need to go to the Coast Guard. You can stay, you know what I'm saying, around the way, like local, because Coast Guard, we Department of Homeland Security. You know what I'm saying? All the other branches is Department of Defense. So they be woo out and about. I be chilling. I was in Tampa. Boy, I was in Tampa more than I was on the ship, kicking it. I was 19 years old in the club. No lie. It was a good time. I played a lot of ball. I think Gian said it too when he said he ain't played college ball, but
Gian didn't play high school ball.
Huh?
Gian didn't play high school ball.
Yeah. He didn't play high school ball, right? But he said it right. When you go to the military, there's so many different people, you know, on base that you meet, and you just play in these different leagues. Like I played in this big Coast Guard league. It's called the MLK tournament. They have it in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. It's a big tournament. You gotta get selected to go out that way. Boy, I felt like I was Devin Book when they selected me. Yeah, like my captain and everything, because we supposed to get underway that year. And he was like, nah, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and let you represent the crew. So you go ahead and go down and play in the tournament. So I played in the tournament. It was good. I ain't do that well, but I was just happy to be out that way, man. So that's really all it is. That's really what it is. Coast Guard is it's a big part of me. It is, but at the same time, I was never super patriotic about it. Like I said, my daddy just made me do that because it's either that or community college. That's what them C's stand for. Coast Guard, community college. What you want to do? And I ain't want to be in community college. So that's what I went up and did, man. So yeah.
You know, and it's super it's super interesting too, because you've kind of touched on it a little bit, and Gian touched on it. It's a lot about building character. And I think when you first came into the league, everyone was kind of like, who the hell is this kid? Like, he doesn't shut up, right? And like it can come across as arrogant. And in the time that we've gotten to know you, Spence, I can honestly say that you are one of the most genuine people that we've met and have grown to really love as a dude. So that, you know, that, and we don't really tell people that, but you know, for real, like we love having you around. You keep the energy of the league at its best. We've been so excited to get you on the podcast because you have the same energy as us, where you like to joke around and screw around, but it's all in good fun. And I think the league needs that. I think every group, where no matter what it is, needs somebody like that. And so I really commend you for bringing that energy to the league. I think it keeps everybody in good spirits, and, you know, seeing highlights where you're dancing on the bench and doing stuff, it's all fantastic. And honestly, I wish you the best of luck the rest of the way. It's for real. There's few guys that we root for as hard as we've been rooting for you this year to do well. And you know, you know, we do love you as from dude to dude. And, you know, it's awesome to have you around for sure.
I got to just touch on what PJ said, looking back on last year when you first came into the league, because I was the personality of the league. No one else would talk. It was just me, and you hear me from the gym. So when you came in, I was like, who the hell is this on my territory? So our first interaction, I laughed at this all day because I knew I was going to bring it up. Our first interaction was when you came, like you drove to the middle. I'm going to say I blocked it. You're going to say you hit the rim, and you stepped over me. And I was like, oh, hell no. This is where like we get into it. And you didn't back down. And you got face to face with me. I was like, all right, I'm gonna back off. Like, I'm not going to sit here. Like, I'm not going to lose my mind. And then just getting to know you and then getting to talk to you and then just seeing you, I was like, okay, he's with the shit. He's actually pretty cool. Which kind of leads me into the question I had for you was, where did you develop your personality? How or when? Like, have you always just been loud? Like, I know you're just like me. You're loud. Like, you're present and everyone knows you're present. And that's something that like you instantly gained my respect about was you're Spencer. You're that dude. You're that guy. And you're yourself always. Doesn't matter what room you're in or who's around. That's who you are.
Hey, man, I appreciate the both of y'all. Y'all cooler than the other side of a pillow. I swear to God, y'all smooth for real with me. And yeah, I remember that day. I do remember that day. I think about, you know what's funny? Because y'all live stream before everybody else did, right? Y'all used to live stream on Instagram, and I went to your page, And I skipped over everything that happened before. And I went right to that moment. And I'm like, buddy got me tight about that. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I really wasn't trying to do nothing. I mean, maybe I was just in the moment trying to hype.
No, it's always one of the things. It's in the moment where you like, and that's that league where if you think you're going to get that dunk, you're going to go for it. And my thing is, I don't care for dunks. I don't care for points. I care for blocks. I care for defense. And that's where I think me and you like went head to head, where I was like, okay, he can be as loud as he wants, but he ain't getting this on me. I'll follow him if I have to. And it was just a bang, bang play. And there was no like ill intent on my end or your end. You went for it. I went for it. And then and you didn't really step over me. I like to say you stepped over me, but you stepped over my legs. You were trying to clear space. And I was like, oh, hell no. And it was like, everyone knows me. I overreact to a lot of shit in the basketball game, between the whistle on me. And yeah, I watched it over and over again, just like you did. And I was like, I don't think he meant to disrespect me, but I think I got my message across, where it's like, we're not going to do this, but you gave my respect, and you almost disrespected me in the same play, which I always laugh at.
You know what about it? Because I think it was like a third game too, and I'm new to the league and everything like that. Everybody was telling me, yo, the league is crazy, it's a lot of fun, wooty woo woo. I'm like, yeah, I gotta play. And all the other games, I think the first 2 games, we won our first 2 games. I want to say for sure we won the first 2 games, and then we lost to y'all on the buzzer beater. Like Jared took the last shot, but that game it was different playing y'all because nobody was chatting like that. So I'm thinking everybody cool out this way. Whatever. I'm a little cocky in it because that's just me, not just me, right? But and then so when you, I didn't know who you was, right? So when you start talking, but I remember they talking about you like the Draymond Green of the league, and I thought that was hilarious. But I really experienced that. I swear to God, though, I got mad respect for you too. But I'll tell you when I really respected you though, when I wasn't even playing. You was playing. Goddamn bogey boys, bogey kicks, something like them. You was playing them, and then somebody said something about your son. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's one thing to talk about ball, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you trash, oh, you can't shoot, oh, you know what I'm saying, you super handsome. I get it. You know what I'm trying to say? It's another thing when you bring up somebody's mama, you know, somebody's girl, somebody's kid. And I'm like, because I always thought my wife saying, why he running his mouth like that crazy though? But then when dude brought up your kid, I'm like, yeah, you don't play by nobody's kid. Though.
I stopped the whole game.
Even the refs was looking at you like, I'm gonna let bro do.
I was like, this is everyone's one warning. I'm pretty peaceful for the most part, unless you really get to me. And I was like, this is the warning for everyone. You're gonna say something like that, I have no problem getting banned from the legacy leagues for that.
Well, and that was something that we've never talked about collectively on the podcast, but you know, I think in that moment everyone like, because in typical Shaine fashion, when someone kind of talks crap to you, you just go back at them, and that was one of the moments where you were very calm and you were just like, you kind of just stopped everything. You're like, listen, like everything that I've been trash talking about going back and forth is all like fun and games and joking around, and it's basketball, but now it's getting to a personal level that it doesn't need to get to. And it was a little more stern than that, but it wasn't like erratic. And then I think everyone was like, oh, like, then everyone realized like, oh, he's just like joking most of the time. Like he's like screwing out, but it's not malicious. And I think everyone realized that. And then they were like, now it's turning into something malicious on the other end. And
hey, Stern with the word. My boy turned to a drill. That nigga was Will Smith. Keep my son's name out your mouth. Hey, he was tight. I was like, ooh. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, I ain't gonna fuck with Buddy after that because Buddy was really.
Well, no, what I will say is, my first year in the league, I was a lot more wilder than I kind of like grew up. And if you can ask a bunch of guys, my first year, yeah, I would be like, oh, your mother, this and that, but I would never take it to that level. I would kind of just laugh it off, joke about it. And then my second year into the league, well, we had COVID, so we had that huge break. I became a parent, so like I knew what that level of love is for someone. And I'm not going to focus on this. I know Joey's probably going to lose it that we've been talking about it, but I kind of dialed myself back because I know what I don't like. And so I knew if someone were to say something, and I even said it in our group chat that year, I was like, the one thing no one can do is say something about my kid because I'll lose it. And of course someone did it. And I was just like, and to PJ's point, I handled it as calmly as I could, because if you know me, things are one of two ways. And at that point, that was the best case scenario for me to give everyone one warning, like, hey, I get it. We're in the heat of things. I talk a lot of shit. I may get into some skin. I may ruffle some feathers, but that's the line we're not stepping on, because if you do, we're going far left. And I got to say, outside of that one incident, I got so much respect for everyone in this league. It's almost like a brotherhood where we've all kind of grown together. Even my team, I've watched these guys go from freshmen or sophomores in college to graduating, getting degrees, and becoming doctors. And that's just something I'm super proud of. And I love to be a part of this with everyone and kind of grow with everyone like you, Joey, all them guys. It's such a different level of respect. And I like to think everyone holds that level of respect for me as well. So for someone to one time come out of line, I just knew I had to put a warning down and stop it flat.
And I think to go off that, right? Talk about what you said a little bit too. It's the legacy leagues is very competitive, as everybody knows now that the league's blowing up. It's very competitive. We've said we challenge anybody that thinks it's easy to come do it, because it's not. But the nice thing is that outside of the lines of basketball, there really has not been a scenario where I've have felt disrespect from somebody. And it is a brotherhood of people. And, I sit there a lot and I talk with the guys from Lob, and they, off the court, they are some of the nicest guys that I've met in the league. Cody, Vic, even Jose, they're great dudes, and it's really nice to get to see that side of people. And with the league blowing up and stuff like that, you don't get to see that. You don't even get to see that in the NBA. You don't get to see what guys are like. So it's nice for us to be able to come on here and talk about that. And, to get to our next thing, as far as talking a little bit about basketball, what have you done this year, Spence? Because clearly this year has been way better for you as an individual player, not just as a team, right? You guys are killing
My
it.
boy took it to a whole nother level this year.
And Spence is going to be one of the guys that has my vote for most improved player this year. Whether the numbers are crazy different, I don't care. I think that a lot of the eye test would show you that. And so I kind of want to know in your head, what changed from last year to this year? What are you doing differently? And how is that translated on the court for you and for your team?
Man, that's a really good question. And it's funny because my numbers last year, I scored more last year, but I felt like, because I had to, I had to score more. We weren't balanced at all last year. We only had Jeff as our big man, and then, I'm 185. I be in the gym, but I ain't that damn big. You know what I'm trying to say? So I felt like I had to do a lot more last year, and we was really tired. We only had 4-6 guys, and I was exhausted. This year, we really balanced, and like my man Devin Pena, bro, he said it the best. We got a lot of guys that can do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? With Taj, Dom, Dev being on the court now, they bring so much to the game that I don't have to run everything. I'm not the strongest guard, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm not the strongest player out there, but everybody match up so well how we play. I think they just make it easier for me. All you gotta do is catch this live, boy. All you gotta do is, I'm gonna set this screen, keep going. Joey be like, don't shoot. I'm like, Joey, I'm gonna shoot. You know what I'm saying? He be like, bro, don't shoot. Don't let them get in your head on that podcast. I said, I'm going 3 for 3, goddammit. I did not go 3 for 3. But I feel more relaxed. That's all it is. I honestly just feel more relaxed. Because we got Taj on the court. We got Hanson that's still out there firing it up, boy.
Man, Jared.
Yeah.
Old faithful.
So that I'm better in the role that I get to play in, because I feel like I had to be the secondary big man. Damn, if you go back and look, you know what I'm trying to say, because it was just Jeff. It was just Jeff out there. And then, yeah. So I feel I'm way more easy. I got time. I can sit on the bench. I don't got to get that little side cramp in my stomach. Everything cool now.
And I think, go ahead, Shane. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you do look a lot more comfortable out there, just from what I've seen. And I was going to say you almost look faster, but I think just like everyone else, it takes a year to figure out legacy leagues. 8.5 is a different transition. So just from what I've seen from you, you look a lot more comfortable. Your game looks a lot more smoother when you're getting to the rim, when you're trying to get up there and catch them lobs. So is that something that is true? You kind of figured out your game for legacy leagues and it's a little easier to kind of perform the way you are? Or is this I know you just said you guys complement each other well, which I said it before we hopped on, and I think I've said it before in previous weeks. I think you guys are the probably the best built team in the league at this point. Yeah, is it something that it took time to fall into that groove for you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's really all it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Joey. You know what I'm saying? Besides from PJ, he might be the other best GM in the league. For real. Joey, he set that up. And when you get to play your game, who don't feel comfortable? You know, who don't feel comfortable? When all you gotta do is play your game, you cool. Sometimes I try to act like Joey and Jared and shoot them a little bit. I be trying to step outside my zone a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You got to step outside the box. But other than that, I like to live above the rim. I do. But that's only in this league. You know what I'm saying? This league, I swear to God, I can shoot. I'm left-handed, boy. I'm like James Harden with the.
Oh yeah, that's right. You are a lefty.
I can shoot. I can shoot on the 10-foot rim. I know what it is. Spence book for a reason, boy. Spence book for a reason. But yeah, man, this is what you said, bro. That's what you said. When you get the right players around you, all you gotta do is play your game. It's hard not to be comfortable.
You know, and to get to our next point, I think that's super important. I think you guys obviously look super comfortable out there and everyone's doing their thing. And I think I agree with Shane. You're the best built team to make a good run this year. I think you guys are the only true team out there besides Lob. I think the Game Breakers have a lot of individuals, but I think you guys have a really well-built team and everyone plays their role really well. To get to some kind of fun stuff, because you've been talking about it and you talked about it a little bit with us earlier. So everyone knows you're a big Phoenix Suns fan, right? You said that you became a big Suns fan in the bubble. Monty Williams almost got fired that year. He saved his life, his coaching life in the bubble that year. So what kind of turned you into a Suns fan? Was it that crazy run that they made in the bubble?
They went 7-0 in the bubble, right?
Yeah, but they were like horrible before that. They were
the Phoenix Suns, and then they went on this amazing run. All I remember is Devin Booker laying on the ground, like hitting game winners. And I was like, oh, they're for real all of a sudden. And you look at the following year, yeah, they're fucking for real.
He saved his job, you know. So were you a Cavs fan? Did you switch to being a Suns fan? I know you said you became a fan in the bubble. So who did you follow before that? Kind of give us that rundown.
Yeah, man. So I'm from Ohio. You already know. Brown fan, big Brown fan. So wherever Brown go, that's where I was gonna go. You know, when he left Cleveland, went to Miami. Boy, was it 5 years? How long he's out there? Anyway, how long I was big. I got a Miami jersey in the closet. I don't bring it out no more, but it's in the closet collecting dust. But yeah. So I was wherever Brown went. That's where I was going. Right now, so I'm paying attention to the bubble, and everybody keeps talking about the Suns. I never paid attention to the Suns. Never paid attention, and I'm looking at Devin Booker, and I'm like, bro kind of got a game like me, you know, like he more polished, you know what I'm trying to say? I ain't 6'5", but he, you know what I'm saying? He got a game, he get to his spot on that mid-range pull-up is butter, boy. I you know, I don't shoot like Buddy, but I like to believe that I can get to my spot on that pull-up. You know what I'm saying? 10-foot league is a different Spence. I'm trying to tell you, I'm Spence Morant in this league, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm Spence Book everywhere else in the world.
Right.
But golly. But yeah, so that all the hype was, I'm watching, I'm saying, oh, so that he kind of turned me on. Not like turn me on, but like it turned me on to the Suns. Like, oh wow, that turned me on. I like them.
I'm gonna just take a note out of Cameron's book, and I'm gonna just say pause. I'm gonna call you off at pause. That's a big pause moment right there. We're gonna pause on that one.
Joey's
gonna let you finish.
So much. Joey's gonna
have my head after this one. Pause. I know, but you go.
And so yeah. And so my daddy, he's a big Chris Paul fan. You know what I'm saying? Big Chris Paul fan. Always been a Clippers fan. So when Chris Paul came to the Clippers, woo, and then he got traded to the Rockets, then went to OKC. My dad was always following Chris Paul, and my dad was like, you know what I'm saying? You a little nigga too. Ooh.
Yeah, Joey's definitely gonna have to edit that one out for
Edit
sure.
that one out.
We'll get a bleep button. We'll just get a bleep button. Listen,
he'll bleep it. We're good. We're good. He edits.
You little dude too. You know what I'm trying to say? That's how you need to play the game. You need to play the game like, bro, you want to sue, you want to do all this actionness to play the game like that. Play a game like Chris Paul, the point guard. Like, I'm paying attention to Chris Paul. Anyway, so that year, 2021, after just getting turned on by the Suns of 2020 and 2021, Chris Paul come to the Suns. Now I'm watching it because Chris Paul on the team. Now I'm really invested. I'm really seeing Devin Booker. I'm like, that's my twin. Like he handsome too. I'm handsome. Like if Devin Booker wasn't in the league, he still get a bunch of chicks. The only person that get more chicks than me is Devin Booker and Chris Brown, in my mind. I mean, not anymore, because you know what I'm saying.
We'll put that on our Instagram. That'll be the quote for the podcast.
But
snippet I put up.
Yeah. But so ever since 2021 is when I really got turned on, like watching them play. I'm like, oh wow. Chris Paul, he made it happen. And then so on and so on. I've been a big Book fan since then, for real.
Well, you know, and I think everybody's got their guy that they follow around and they have their team. I know my favorite team is the Celtics, but my favorite player has been Damian Lillard, and it's killing me what's going on with him right now. It looks sick. He looks like the biggest.
I'm so over that. Yeah, I'm so over Damian Lillard, bro. Like I knew you were gonna say that once the minute you said that, and I like, bro, he needs to stop. He has no leverage to do what he's doing right now.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I love the guy. He killed himself for all these years being loyal to a franchise, but now you're stabbing them in the back at the end. You know, I
won't say that. I won't say he's stabbing them in the back. He gave them everything. It's like with Bron in Cleveland. Like he had to get out of there, learn how to win, come back 1-1. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with Dame, but like, how are you going to sit there and say now, yeah, I want to go to Miami as my only destination when you've been all right with mediocrity for the last 10 years? You like take a chance, go, I don't know, anywhere but like a bad team, I guess. Outside of like what Detroit, Orlando, and like that handful of bad teams, he can go anywhere in the league and they're instantly going to be a better team. But I'm not going to sit here and talk about NBA on a Legacy Leagues podcast for too long. But yeah, Damian Lillard just needs to stop and just listen. He's going to get traded, but I don't think it's going to be to Miami at the end of the day.
I don't foresee it either. And, you know, as much as I would give my left kidney for him to be a Boston Celtic, I don't foresee that happening either with his agent talking everybody like that. So, you know, it sucks, but we'll kind of see where that goes. But to talk about NBA comparisons, right? You say you see yourself as Devin Booker. Everyone sees Shane as the Draymond Green of the league, right?
So that's Shane. He definitely Draymond.
That's the highest compliment I could ever get.
I agree.
Well, in my basketball life is because
Shane,
I'm not. I mean, everyone will sit here and say, "Oh, you got no points. You got no." Bro, I think in my whole basketball career, I have like sub 100 points, and I don't give a shit. My win-loss record is what matters to me. My championships what matters to me, and that's what drives me in the day. I could score negative 10 points, and did I get the win? Cool, you can't say a word to me at all.
And we haven't done much of that this year, but Shane also hasn't really been on the court this year.
Yeah, I'm not there this year. That had nothing to do with me.
But Spence, what I was gonna say is I actually foresee your Legacy Leagues NBA comparison, if we're gonna go down that road, a little bit different. And I want to see what your thoughts are here. As much as you love Devin Booker, I don't foresee you as the Devin Booker of the Legacy Leagues. I would say your comparison would be a DeMar DeRozan type of guy, mid-range, living around the hoop. I think that's where you excel. And for me, if everyone says this is what Spence does on the court, the first place my mind goes is to a guy like a DeMar DeRozan, a guy that can be a leader on the court, can be a leader of a team when he needs to be, but lives in that interior to mid-range and isn't the best three-point shooter in the league. Will give you maybe one or two on a good night, but that's where I foresee you being your comparison, and that's in the highest respect because I love DeMar. I think DeMar's game is the closest. And I'm going to get shot for this, I promise. But DeMar DeRozan's way he plays is the most similar to Jordan, I think, since Jordan, similarity-wise.
Wow. I'm Michael Jordan this month.
I'm going to skip over that one. I'm not pointing to that one.
And anybody that wants to challenge me can go look up the numbers.
We'll talk about that later. But PJ, to your point of him being like DeMar, we're in the same neighborhood, different street. I'm going to say Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
Defensively, he's there. Three-point on a good night, it's there. But mid-range, at the rim, he's there. He's the heart and soul of the team. I'll say that about Jaylen Brown to the day I die. I think he's a Celtic, one of the better Celtics that I've ever seen. So yeah, that's I think where I have Spence is a Jaylen Brown type for sure. Heart and soul of a team. Defensively solid. Mid-range solid. At the rim solid. 3-point needs some work. Who am I to talk? But
hey, I'll tell you what. DeMar DeRozan, a real one, boy. I like DeMar. Even when he was in Toronto, I like DeMar DeRozan. Now, if you follow me on IG, you know I don't mess with no Celtic, boy. I like Boston. Boston is cool, but the Celtic, you. So I do like Jaylen Brown though. His beard is crispy. So I like that. He got a crispy beard.
I got you. He's his own person. He does his own thing. He's not so much in the mix. He's laid back, but he will definitely speak his mind. So that's why, like,
but he
I think
cool.
Spence, I think, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm not trying to sit here and say he ain't shit, but
no,
I think you guys are in that.
I appreciate that. I do because Buddy could hoop, and they both fit too. They both really fit too. I like that.
Yeah, like I said, same neighborhood, different street. I think me and PJ on right there.
Okay. I appreciate it. I'm not going to disagree.
You don't mess with my DeMar DeRozan Michael Jordan comparison, huh?
No. Oh,
I can't sit there and say that.
I'd like just you. I would.
The basketball enthusiast I am. I can't get on board with that one. Listen, I catching up heat for saying LeBron's the best player ever.
He is,
and I think that's a fit. And I think that's where I'm at. But to sit here and say DeMar DeRozan is in that Michael Jordan statistical category. I mean, statistics maybe, but like the eye test, like you said, it's not even close. Not even close.
No. And it's not statistics, it's style of play. Just go watch a few DeMar DeRozan games and then come back to me and say, PJ, you were right. He plays very much just like how Michael Jordan played in those 90s runs. Not saying he's as good, but that's his style of play.
Yes.
So, I know this is gonna get clowned on Twitter, on Instagram.
Yeah, you're gonna get some heat for that one.
I'm gonna die on the hill by that one. So I'll take the heat for it. Another thing that we talked about today, which is kind of fun. It's part of the fun part. And if you guys want to do the immaculate grid that I had planned for last week, we can do that. We can talk about that. But one of the fun things I want to talk about, and I have two teams that I've made up in my head. We can do more on the spot, but one of the big things that took the world by storm this year for the first time that it's kind of really blown up. I've always followed it. I'm a baseball guy. I played baseball. Is the World Baseball Classic, happened this year. And I think we talked about it kind of jokingly, but it's kind of interesting to talk about. If the legacy leagues had some kind of Olympics, World Baseball Classic, wherever, where people play based on where their families are from, right? That kind of a thing. Like World Baseball Classic, you had Japan, Cuba, the DR. Legacy leagues couldn't be that in depth where you're going country by country, but you could do something that we've discussed where you have a team of the guys, that Middle East, Asia area. I thought about today. So you could have a team of the guys like Brian Yars, Colombian, Jose, Charles Correa, right? So in your head, right, that you guys can think of, what would those teams look like? What would the best legacy leagues World Baseball Classic style team
I can tell you right now, you got Vic, Devin, Taj, me.
Whoa. Where are you putting Vic? Because Vic is with us.
Is he with you? Is he?
Vic is with us. I'm
okay.
Pretty sure, unless I'm wrong, I believe Vic is Lebanese.
Listen, I don't know, but I'm just.
He's got a Lebanon flag in his Instagram bio, and his last name.
Okay, so
I believe that
he goes with you guys. So you got me, Taj, Devin.
Who these black folk? This team black folk.
Yeah.
I ain't on the black folk list.
Well,
you're with us.
We discussed it today.
We just discussed
I'm not
it
gonna
today.
try and steal you. If you want to come to the cookout, come to the cookout, my boy. You know what we got.
Come to the cookout. Well, I'm already there. What you talking about?
So he's leaving us.
My daddy black. My mama daddy black. My mama Indian.
So here we go. So now we got me, Spence, Devin, Taj, and that's our starting four at least. Oh, sorry, Dez. Me and Dez, maybe one whole black person.
Time out. So, but I'm saying like regionally. So what would it'd have to be like people like I would say like the Brian Yars. He's Colombian, right? I believe that.
Yeah.
Not Des.
Shout out all my Colombians.
Jose is Hispanic. Charles Correa. That team right there is that's a tough lineup right there. You got the Italians with Joey Zacco and all those guys. We can leave them out. But we were talking about today, the team from the Middle East / Asia area. You got me, best shooter on the team right there. Hachi, Spence, Gian, Garen. Garen's a sniper. Garen dropped 18 yesterday.
Shout
bro.
out G-Dog.
Garen, in the worst way, wants to get on this podcast. He just hit 500 career points.
I think we should. I think
we'll get Garen on next week with Cody. We'll have them shoot the shit back and forth next week, Garen and Cody. But it's all, we do these things and we come up with these fun teams in our heads. We talk about trades and stuff, and it's ways for us to kind of keep things fresh. But but when I was thinking about this in my head, I was saying the team with Yars, Jose, and Charles Correa is another contender. I mean, I don't know exactly where everybody would fall geographically if we were to do a World Baseball Classic style roster for like a tournament. But there'd be some good teams. It'd be fun to shake the league up and do things like that. But right last year, you have the team with all the Italians, Johnny Cucci, Zach Tartaglia, Vinny Volpe. That's a team right there in and of itself. They stay together.
That's the Italian team I want to be on. Yeah,
See,
half of me is on that team.
Yeah, so when Shane wants to claim that dual citizenship, he can go that way to go play with the boys again.
Hold on, I mess with some Alfredo, boy. Don't play with me. Hey,
are you kidding me?
Don't I like Alfredo? I love Olive Garden, don't I?
You Alfredo, my boy. Come on, you know what? We're gonna go out. We're gonna get some dinner. I'm gonna put you on to some different dishes, but we ain't sitting here doing that Alfredo shit. No.
Listen, I used to date this little Italian John. Right? She live in Johnston. I ain't gonna drop no name because I'm a gentleman, right? But wooty woo woo. Anyway, she used to make a brother pink pasta with vodka sauce and everything like that.
Stuff.
She had spent speaking Italian by like their 5th month dating.
I said, what I say? I said, ole.
That's not Italian.
No, that's not Italian. Ole? What's Italian?
I don't know. We need Danny for this because Danny's our resident Italian, but that's not Italian.
So he said ole. Like,
what is ole? That's not Italian. What is that?
Danish, dude.
No, that's not Italian. You know what? We're
gonna let you ride with it. We're gonna let you ride with it.
Ole, no.
That is absolutely.
Listen. I grew up on Chef Boyardee. I'm probably got some in the thing right now in the cupboard. Boy, Chef Boyardee with the macaroni with the beef. What?
Stop.
You had the good on there. Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
My grandmother would kill me if I ever cracked open, first of all, a jar of sauce that wasn't made or some Chef Boyardee.
This is your Italian grandmother you're talking about, Shane?
Oh, she would have my head. So this is what we're going to do when I'm back. I think we should do like a Legacy League dinner, whoever wants to come out. But we're going to go get some good Italian food. I'm not sitting here and listening to Chef Boyardee and Alfredo sauce. There's no way.
Shane, as our half resident Italian without Danny here, what is your go-to spot for good Italian food? There's a bunch of good spots in Rhode Island to go. What's your
there's so many. It depends on the dish. I'll tell you right now, shout out Rosario, shout out to Thomas Shaine. I've known them for a while. The chicken parm there, not only is it as big as an infant, it's delicious. Their veal parm and pink sauce is absolutely delicious. There's a bunch of good spots. You can't go wrong with like Vendor. They got great calamari. They got great apps. I actually, for the first time, went to Angelo's, where it's strictly pasta, which is incredible to me. They've been open for like 50 plus years. They have like no steaks, no anything on the menu. It's straight pasta, and it is probably some of the best I've had. So if you want like a good pasta dish, go to Angelo's on the Hill. I'm not giving out no more free promo. If you want to pay me, then I got you. But Angelo's for sure.
I got you. I'm 25% Sicilian. All right.
Here we go. Now he's Italian.
Spence is a man of so many talents and races.
Spence is a Renaissance man, dude. He's
y'all have been to pasta.
He's a gentleman. He's a gentleman.
Y'all have been to Pasta Beach.
Yes. Okay. He's onto something. The meatball and the lasagna there, it is top notch. So I can't even say he's wrong on that one.
See what I'm saying?
They got good pizza too. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Pizza spot. What's your go-to? Because that's different. If you're going pizza, what's your go-to spot in Rhode Island?
Domino's?
No, get out of here.
Domino's?
Spence, you might get kicked off this for that. I'm not a big pizza guy, but shout out Cranston, big cheese. You can't go wrong with that. Or salad.
Oh,
I'm gonna get a salad.
Don't tell Big Pete that's his favorite pizza place ever. Loves Big Pete.
Does he want to go when I'm back? Me and Media, stop calling him Big Pete.
He's Medium Pete now. I know.
Medium Pete. Give
Yes,
that man his flowers.
I
But if he
will.
wants to go to Big Cheese with me, I will do that any day of the week. But yeah,
Every
that's
time
like
we
my
go there,
go-to pizza spot.
he gets that appetizer that's like the garlic bread with the peppers on it. It's
Ooh,
phenomenal.
okay. Yeah. He
Phenomenal.
knows. Guy got good taste.
Oh, he knows. He's the Middle Eastern side of my family, so he's got good taste in food, believe me. No, so that's some good Spence. I gotta say for you, I haven't been to Columbus in a long time, but so my family's from Canton, over by where the Football Hall of Fame is. So that Akron area, shout out Bron, shout out Steph, where those guys are from. Shout out CJ McCollum, that's where those dudes are from. But where in Ohio, right? So give the listeners a little bit of an insight. What is the biggest difference for you coming from Ohio to Rhode Island? What's the difference? Because I can tell you what the difference is for me. I come here and I think most people that live here are kind of jerks, right? But you go out to the Midwest, everybody is as nice as can possibly be. I remember when we used to go out there when I was a kid, you walk on the street and random people just say, like, hey, what's up to you? And it's just like kind of like a weird culture shock difference. So, for you, what's the difference coming from Ohio to Rhode Island? What's been the biggest kind of shock for you?
Well, let me tell you something. I don't know how they do in Canton, but only thing we really know about Canton is that's where they shot Dance Moms at. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my sister would tell you all about the Candy Apple Studio and
all that.
Yep.
But for Columbus, coming from Columbus out this way. So I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is the women. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold on, let me just tell you something. I'm not gonna get into nothing crazy. Listen, I never heard of Cape Verdean, never heard of Portuguese. I barely knew what a Puerto Rican was. You know what I'm trying to say? All this stuff new to me. In Ohio, we got 4 things. We got black folk, white folk, Mexicans, and East Africans. That's it.
You're forgetting one big group in Ohio. You're forgetting the biggest group in Ohio. The Amish. They're all out there.
I said Columbus, man.
Are you guys Amish country out there?
My grandparents are
Pennsylvania.
In Canton. There's a lot of Amish population, huge. There we go to a store down there, they make a bunch of food. Oh yeah. Pennsylvania Dutch, man. You gotta learn the geography here.
Well, listen, goddammit. I never heard of none of the things I just named. Portuguese, didn't even know what that was. You know what I'm trying to say? So all that is new to me. So coming out this way, it's the diversity. I really like the diversity.
So you were like Chris Tucker in Rush Hour 2 at the massage parlor when you came out here. You're like, I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna take that. Chris Tucker in Rush Hour 2 when he went. Yeah. You like, that one. So that was you.
Now we know from Spence being here that he's the ladies' man of the Legacy League. So this doesn't surprise me that this is where this conversation went. I asked him about his transition from Ohio to Rhode Island. That's the first place he
Spence, how old are you?
I'm 25, man.
25. Oh, enjoy it. Okay, that makes so much sense to me. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it.
He's still with the youngins over here. He hasn't crossed that fence like you yet, Shane. That 30 fence.
Yeah, my knees be done. I can't stay in the club no more. I be ready to go home by 12 o'clock. I ain't in the club no more. I ain't in the club.
So you're starred. You're on like that decline. I got you. I remember I remember that.
No more. I don't do it no more. So
that's funny.
Yeah, I got a career, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to get married. I want all that, alhamdulillah, one day, inshallah. I'll make that happen. God will make that happen, and I'll be great. But right now, I'm just focused on what I got to do. I got a dog. It's just me and the dog.
It's a good start. Dog is a good start. I always tell people, my dog is my first son. That's what trained me to be a human dad.
And I have my pup in the other room. She's hanging out with my parents right now. And it's really kind of eye-opening to have that experience where you care for something, right? And it's weird, right? Like it's the first time, and Spence, you can probably say the same thing. Shane, I know with Tyson, it was like the first, but for me, it was that first experience of this being, this creature is only alive because I have to take care of it every single day. And and for me, like my dog, as some people might know, has this like kind of a rare thing that happens, but she goes into pretty severe anaphylactic shock. She's 3. She's been 3 episodes where it's life or death. She gets these blood transfusions. And, for me, like it takes everything out of me, and it's like being a dad. And so Shane, as the only one that's got a kid here, I've even talked to my parents about it, and I can imagine. I can't imagine it because my parents have said you have no idea what it's like until you have a kid, right? But I love my dog so much like a kid, and they say that when you have your own child, like a human child, that it's like 150 times more. And it doesn't even seem that's a reality, but we have a lot of guys in the legacy leagues that are dads, and it's super interesting, and that's a really cool part of like getting to know each other outside of basketball, right? Like we have 3 guys on our team who are dads. We have you, Des, and Brian, and you guys are all relatively new dads. I mean, I know Carter's growing up a little bit, and every time I see him on Instagram, I want to puke because I remember when he was like literally this big, and we were literally we were still playing when he was born, so it's crazy, but it's something that at this age, right, like having a dog, and even it sounds stupid, but those are the kind of things that help you grow up and kind of become the people that we are. And
For sure.
it's crazy to think about, and it's nuts. And all of us are going into careers, and I know you talked about that a little bit, Spence. So what do you do for a career? What is your job right now?
Oh man, yeah. So I work in marketing, man. I work in marketing. I also freelance in marketing as well, marketing strategist. So I actually working with Joey right now to just build out this momentum off the legacy league and everything. I've been really
Joey is such Joey is just the ultimate networker. He latches on to everyone. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Joey gets it done. I really admire what he does, what he's doing, and I love this league. I even reached out to him because I really love legacy. I love it for what it is. I love and I told him, and it's not, yeah, it's the 8.5 rim and everything like this, a dunk league. But honestly, in my personal opinion, it's the interns that make this so great. It's the podcast that make it so great. I play in the millions of men's basketball leagues. You know what I'm trying to say? A bunch. I played on base. I play in Canada. I play all over the East Coast. You know what I'm trying to say? All over. And this league, it's just so different. It make you feel really cool, man. It really do. What you guys do, it shouldn't be taken for granted. You know what I'm saying? How you guys talk. I promise you, I'm probably your first listener. No BS. I really am. Y'all sound so good. Y'all sound professional. I like how y'all talk about things and how y'all really, make it happen. But it's y'all that make this league stand out. It really is, So I give it up.
I mean, yeah, shout out to Joey. I agreed with him way too much last week. That's why I'm trying not to this week. But he really did make this league pretty intricate where, like you said, I play in a bunch of leagues. So I'm not going to say a bunch anymore. I play in like 2 other leagues these days. Where, yeah, you see your stats, like you go see the guys, the beer league, it's fun. But this league, and shout out to him for bringing interns in. And those guys have gotten a lot better over the years. So he's learned as we've learned about this league. And basically, shout out to Joey for just making this a very in-depth league for everyone, giving everyone kind of a road to take if they want to with this, whether it's the podcast that we do our thing or him doing the post game with all those guys, or even giving guys the opportunity to get on the podcast, because he's going to have to do that. So he gives a lot of his time, effort, money, and energy into this. So I'm going to stop being nice to Joey now, but shout out to him. Joe, you suck. That's how I'm going to balance that out. So yeah.
Joe, you the man. You the
no, Joe. Without Joey, really none of this exists, and I think the part of it that everybody loves is how it really does feel like you're in a professional league. And we've tried to make this podcast turn into like the JJ Redick podcast or the All the Smoke podcast with who the hell is on that one? It's gonna
Matt Barnes,
Jerry
Stackhouse,
Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson.
So we're trying to do something like that, and it's really cool. I think the guys enjoy it, and I hope everybody enjoys it. It seems like they do, but it's just really cool to be able to have the opportunity to do that. It's fun for us. I mean, we love doing it. We've done it this is my 2nd year running the podcast now, and I personally think it's the best podcast crew that we've ever had. I mean, I know Danny and I, and this year Shane, we've put a ton of time into this for the last 2 years to kind of make it what it is, and to get people to listen, because I think it's a huge part of how you make a league feel professional and do things the way that they do. So I'm super happy to be a part of it and to kind of see where the expansion goes. The last kind of fun thing that I want to touch on before we kind of start to wrap up a little bit, and then we can just kind of shoot the shit the rest of the way. But there was a really cool clip that I saw, and we've talked a lot on this podcast, this episode, about family and what it means to us and becoming a family in legacy leagues and stuff. But my favorite clip that I've seen this entire year was a clip that I don't know if you posted it or Joey posted it or whoever it was, but it was your family watching the live stream back in Ohio. Like it was
that was awesome.
And like everyone was like, oh, like that's cool. But like to me, I was like, yo, like that is so awesome that's what this has turned into. So I want you to talk about, for you, Spence, like what that means to you that your family is able to watch this, and what does your family mean to you? What does it mean to you to be able to play on YouTube live, for them to be able to watch back in Ohio? Like how, like what does that mean to you for real?
Yeah, man. I'm glad you brought that up, because it really mean a lot to me. It really do. And I thank Joey for even going live stream with it, because I never even thought that's never a thought in my mind. Oh, you should make this, you should go live with it. And I didn't even thought about that. But my parents haven't seen me play since high school, 18, little boy, 150 pounds, 5'6" type thing. You know what I'm trying to say? They haven't seen me play in a long time. So every time I would call them, oh mom, look, I just did this. Whoopty woo woo. Oh, dad, you know what I'm trying to say? I hustle like this. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just talking, I send them little videos, and somebody took a video of me and stuff like that. And all that's just great. So for them to actually see, me play, and then like they watching, I know they watching, it feel great. It really feel great. And they honestly, they love it. They love it. They enjoy watching me play. And I didn't think I missed that until that first phone call I had with my mom. And she was telling me like, oh, you did so good. You did so good. Oh, you was out there going crazy. Da 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 da. You guys got a good team. Wow, wow, wow. And I was like, yeah, that was nice. It's nice to hear your mom, because it's just me out here.
It hits you right here. It hits you right here.
Yeah. My honey, it's just me out here in Rhode Island. All my family back at home, either in Arkansas, Atlanta.
That's tough, bro. I don't know how.
It's just me.
I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I'm like on a 6-week, I'm gonna call it a vacation, but I'm here for work. But to be away from Carter for 6 weeks is like, it's killing me. Like I think I've cried 5 times in the last 10 years. Actually, I'll narrow it down. The last 3 years, all of them have to do with Carter. So like, props to you for branching out and getting away from your family and doing the damn thing. Not to cut you off, but that I could speak to how tough that is on a short-term thing, never mind long-term. I don't know how. I give you all the credit in the world for that, bro.
Hey man, I appreciate it. I do. But it's a different type of love with you, bro. You got a son. That's an extension of you. You know what I'm saying? That's from your body. You know what I'm saying?
Different. I hope anyone who wants to do it does it. I'm not going to sit here and go into a spiel. It's the greatest gift in the world. I love that kid. I would lay down in traffic, and that's the bare minimum. You grow up a lot with your first kid, and like everyone says it, like to PJ's point, his parents say you have no idea. Like maybe you don't know idea how stressful it is, how tired you get, but you also have no idea like the level of love that you understand that your parents had for you, where it's like, oh, this is different. And I can't explain it. I'm not going to try to, but it's one of the best feelings in the world, knowing you have a little person that looks up to you, looks at you and says, that's my dad, that's my mom. And it's easily one of the most emotional, stressful, best feelings in the world, to wrap it up into one big ball of things.
Yeah, man, that's what's up, bro. That really is, though. That's the extension of you. You know what I'm saying? That's your creation, and he got your last name. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Thing to me, it really is. So, because I only see my mama and pop, my sisters and all them once a year. You know what I'm saying? Once a year, I see them. So it's really good to see them cheer for their son. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, oh, I didn't know I missed this. I didn't know I missed, and you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Joey, you know what I'm saying, for always thinking. Shout out to y'all for giving them ideas. Y'all make it happen. And it helps with me with creating a good marketing strategy. And if y'all ever got plans as well, we could talk about it off camera and anything like that, about how we can expand, you know what I'm saying, things that we can do for the next season and make it more, just build off this hype, you know what I'm saying? Build off everybody tuning in. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, I'm sure y'all did. Y'all don't miss nothing. But y'all seen the followers jump Legacy page. Y'all seen the followers. You know what I'm trying to say?
Shout out Bron.
Shout out,
That's
Brian.
your man right there. He posted on his Instagram story.
Shout out, Brian. He beat. I feel bad for buddy that I banged on. I really did, because I'm like, dang, why you gotta get it like that? Brian saw it.
You didn't only bang on him. You threw the ball off his head. Oh,
No,
are we like this? There's 2 clips of you just violating somebody.
Yeah.
That's kind of sick that you got to be on Bron's Instagram story for real.
Yeah, what does that feel like, bro? Like, that's your guy, and like, so Bron saw you. Like, whether he like said, like, he might not have said, "Oh,
You're gonna get Spence
but he
fired up.
saw you."
Look, let me tell you what happened. I'm in church, and I'm not Christian. You know what I'm saying? My parents is Christian, right? So you know what I'm saying, I respect them. I'm in church with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my phone. I don't know. I shouldn't be on my phone, but I'm on my phone and whatnot. And somebody send me something. Bro, this you? This you? I said, huh? Hold up, wait a minute. Hey, told my dad, I said, Dad, look, Ron posted me, man. Ron posted me. He said, he ain't post you, he post everybody. Stop worrying about yourself all the time. And he always trying to burst my bubble. But I was hyped, man. I was really hyped. I was really hyped for Bron to do that.
No, that's a good feeling. So, like, for an athlete, like, someone you look up to. I'll never forget. Like, I had an interaction with Draymond Green. A couple. If he like said my name on TNT, and I was like, "This is it for me." Like this. Oh yeah, it was something small. Like I tweeted like the NBA on TNT, and he was getting.
I was watching it when he said that.
He got roasted for his jacket, and I was like, "Yo, that's a tight jacket." If you know me, you know I'm bright colors. I always wear bright colors. He's like, Charles Barkley was like, "Oh, Shane want one," and Draymond was like, "Oh, Shane, I got you." And I messaged Draymond like every like 4 months, like when I see him pop up my time, like still waiting on that jacket, and I'll send the clip. But yeah, it's one of them things where it's such a cool thing to hear an athlete either noticed you or said something about you. So like. Yeah. Like LeBron's the peak of basketball athlete, peak athlete ever. So yeah, that must have been a crazy feeling. Never mind like your people getting at you, but Bron saw you.
That was amazing. But I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm always thinking about my brother. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not selfish like that. Maybe on the court, it might look like that, but I'm not really selfish like that, man. So I was really happy for Joey. Honest to God, my whole heart. I was really happy for Joey because he deserved it. He been going at this thing hard for so long, and he been successful. You know what I'm saying? He been successful. And when he told me that he actually needed some more people for this year because it was light. You know what I'm saying? We only got eight teams this year. He actually needed a couple more people. So when he finally got it through, I kind of felt a little sad. I'm like, dang, for real.
I think this will be the last year we're light. I think next year we might run into a problem.
Last year we're light. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm happy for Joey, man. I'm happy for everybody that got looked at it, that just to be a part of this league. You know what I'm saying? Because people, I know y'all seen the comments. People would think that it's light out here. You know what I'm trying to say? Oh, grown man, hype because he dunked on an 8-foot rim.
Hey, come to the gym and try and dunk on me. That's what I've been telling everyone. Come to the gym, line up with me. You're gonna hurt. Well, actually, better yet, line up with Jeff. I'm not gonna say me. I'm not like go try and dunk on Jeff. It's tough.
I dunked on him. I dunked on Jeff in the All-Star game last year. You know what I'm saying? Just to throw that out there. You was coaching, Shane. I know you saw it.
But you know, it's a cool feeling when stuff like that happens. You know, when you get to have an interaction like that. You know, so my favorite interaction that I've ever had, probably the coolest experience in my life, honestly, is so my mom grew up in Canton, Ohio. My grandparents lived their whole life in the same house. Lived across the street from CJ McCollum and his family. So a couple of years ago, I got asked if I would help coach CJ and his brother's basketball camp in Canton, and went out there, got to meet him, got to meet his brother, and coached a bunch of kids who, you know, he was working with, and it was like the coolest experience I've ever had. And you know, they provided lunch for the coaches, so I'm sitting out in the hallway with, you know, a bunch of like crazy NBA caliber trainers and stuff, and I'm sitting by myself at this booth, and CJ comes over and he said, "Can I sit and have lunch with you?" And I sat and talked to him about like life and basketball, and we talked about Ricky Lito for a while because his brother played with Ricky, and it was just
one
funny.
of the best pure hoopers you'll ever see.
Well,
we'll save that for the next. We'll save that for next.
We'll save it, but to get to that, So his brother Eric plays overseas, I believe, in Russia, and it was an empty gym with just CJ and his brother working out, which if you've never gotten to watch an NBA player work out in an empty gym, it is the most disgusting thing you'll ever see in your life because they don't miss a shot. But I'm talking with CJ and his brother, and all of a sudden they're shooting around, and when kids turn around and hit a jumper, they say Kobe, right? So his brother takes a turnaround mid-range and says Ricky Lito, and Ricky went to my high school. So I shot up and I'm like, Eric, not to interrupt you, I know you guys are working, but is that the name that just came out of your mouth? And he was like, yeah, Ricky. I was like, Ricky went to my high school. Like, Ricky's a legend in Rhode Island. He was like, I played with Ricky Lito overseas, and he is one of, if not the most talented basketball player I've ever met in my life. But, couldn't get it together. Obviously got drafted the same year as Giannis to the Bucks with Giannis, but that's a story for another time.
Have you ever seen him play, PJ? I know you just said he went
to
yes.
I've seen him play.
Yeah.
It is the grossest
thing
I've
different.
seen.
The one thing I will say about Ricky, not that I'll hang on it, but he's one of the most down-to-earth people you'll come across. And I'm small change, and he somehow, whenever we see each other, he will say hi. He'll interact, and it's just he never let that get to his head that he got drafted, and he never treated anyone different. He loves Rhode Island. He loves Providence. He puts on for all of us all the time. So shout out Ricky on that one.
Hey, 60 guys a year get to say that they got drafted. That's a very small number of people in the world that have ever been drafted to the NBA. So
yeah, the top 1%.
But so to get back to that, like, I got to have a lunch with CJ and talk to him about life and basketball. And so I know what that kind of experience is like. And it's really cool that this league is now getting that experience. I had the same experience with Duye Duke and the team guy that our team's named after. We hit him up. We watched him play at Wisconsin, and we got to go meet him and talk to him at his G League game in New York. Went out to see him play. And it's just like stuff like that is so cool. So for the league to be able to experience that, it's really awesome. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a cooler person to post a friggin' video of the league than LeBron James. I mean, say what you want, it's sick. I think everyone would want that to happen. So, it's really cool, and I'm really happy for Joey. I think we all are, but it's one of the greatest things to be able to be a part of this league. I tell everybody and their brother about it, and they probably get sick of me posting and talking and doing all this stuff, but it's just really awesome what everyone does for the league and kind of makes it the place that it is. And unfortunately, it's a nice small community now. I don't think it's going to stay that way for a long time, but hopefully we can kind of keep that vibe and that family and that relationship everyone's got with each other as the league expands. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Here's the warning: don't try and dunk on me. It's not going to be nice. I will not be friendly.
I want to get to one last kind of fun segment before we kind of wrap up for the day. And I want to ask Spence, in your 2 years, right? This is your second year in the league?
Yeah.
In your 2 years in the legacy leagues, who has been the most difficult team / and or player that you've had to go up against in your 2 years in the league? Talk about why, and kind of, what you see in that player, why that's been the toughest experience for you and what you learned from that.
Okay. So the thing about legacy, what I kind of like this year is that we get to play another team, because we play you guys twice this year, which is nice because, what I'm saying, I'm sure y'all want to get yours get back, right? So last year, unforgettable. Like, we all know Gian can ball. We all know Buddy can hoop. You know what I'm trying to say? I won't forget it. We was hooping. We had that game, and I'm in the game. I'm like, come on, we got this. Come on, y'all. We smooth. Forget about it. I ain't tripping over no Gian. What's up? Come on, right? When I tell you, Buddy lit he lit me up. It was. I was low-key. I was not low-key. I was salty. You could see it in my face. And I'm glad we ain't had live stream then, because I was salty. I ain't want my mama to see me that damn salty. Boy. So yeah, because he just kept hitting 3 after 3. And he's like, Spence, you gotta step up. You gotta guard him. Like, I swear to God, I'm trying to guard, bro. I'm really in. I got a hand in his face. In his face. He's smacking that. What you want me to do, coach? Coach Joey, what you want me to do? You get out here and guard him. You know what I'm trying to say? What you want me to do? Anyway, and what got me tight, Cause he talking to, I got two of my homeboys, my close homeboys on the bench, right? They
They
ride.
come to a lot of the games. I see them in a lot of the games.
Yeah. They ride for me. They ride. They be there. So in their eyes, you know what I'm saying? They my boys. So I can't do no wrong. You know what I'm trying to say? I can't do no wrong. And I'm sorry because they trying their best to be like, to bring the positive out of it. And he turned around. He didn't even look at me. He looked at my homies and he said something like I'm eating them up. I'm eating them up. Something like that. He had a right to be cocky with it. You know what I'm trying to say? And we went at it that game. I think Buddy put like 41 points. It's crazy. I still remember that. You know what I'm trying to say? But hey, shout out to him. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? He honestly is is probably the best player to have on your team besides Charles. Because I play with Charles Alexander. He's new to this league. Buddy can hoop too. No, don't get it twisted. He could really. We played on the same team earlier this summer. We was on the same men's basketball team, and bro bang out 10-foot rim like it's nothing from deep. He jumping from deep. He can shoot. He get to it. He a beast. But out of them two, I think it's a great thing that it's between them two is MVP because it's deserved. Either way it go, it's deserved. It's deserving. Gian could ball, you know what I'm saying? I give it to Buddy for sure. Hey, I give it to you, G, for sure. Charles, you that man too. If you watching, you that man too. But yeah, that's my experience. That's the one that's like, damn, he could hoop. He really eating me up. And it blow my mind because everybody, I'm like, you can't really firing on this 8.5 rim. They firing like it's nothing. Cool. But he not on 3-point line. He damn near between 3-point line and half court. Firing that mug, boy. I just glance. I didn't even want to look at my homeboys on the bench. I'm peeking like, don't see that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, act like you didn't see. You know what I'm saying? If you my homie, just act like you didn't see me just get mouthed like that 3 times straight. And they act like they didn't see it. If I bring it up, they be like,
some nights you can't stop a guy. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah.
I had one of those nights against Jose. That was tough. He put 50 on my head, and I called for it. I was like, if you're gonna win, you give him 50. He turned around at the end of the game. He was like, you asked for it, you got it. I was like, this fucking guy actually did it, and I gave him the props for it because there's some nights you just can't stop him. But to that point, shout out Man Bun Vin who locked him down.
Man Bun Vin, DPOY in my heart.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and Spence, we've always talked about different guys that in the league that we love watching them play. And like I said, just to kind of wrap this up, you know, I know Joey's your boy. If you ever feel like you'd look a little bit better in red, Joey does his recruiting. We can find a spot for you on the Duyes boys. I promise. I think there might be a little bit of something in the works from GM.
Listen, if I don't think the league would be able to handle me and Spencer on the same team, they would be.
Joey might have going to cardiac arrest.
Awful. Forget Joey. The league would need therapy. It'd be terrible.
We probably have to play good cop, bad cop. You're just gonna be 24/7.
Oh, for sure. You'd have to be nice, and I'm just gonna follow through, and it's gonna be brutal.
Man. You know, so
we'll talk about it though. Joey, you're not the only one who can steal.
What number do you wear with the Halfway Crooks out of curiosity?
Number 1. You already know.
Oh, funny enough, I don't think we have a number 1 on the roster. So
I can't do that to my man Joe. I actually told him this might be my last season in the league, unfortunately. But however, I just got a good job opportunity in Providence.
There you go, bro.
So I might end up staying a little bit longer. But you know, I'm putting my resume out there in New York and Phoenix. So I'm trying to get about here by next summer. So if this ain't my last season, next season, if we have a winter season, will be my last season. God willing.
That's something you hate to hear, but love to see as far as growth and opportunity for your life.
The God squad that we've talked about on this podcast of pairing up a Johnny, Vinny, and a Zach with Dez, Brian, you, Wolfie. That's 7.
If you want to win a ring on your way out, let us know.
Listen. There's one more person. There's one more person that I have in the tank that I'm going to recruit when he comes home from Texas. And he's already said he'd never wear another color other than blue, but I'm pushing real hard if we can get those boys back. I'll keep it in the pocket until after we stop recording. Once he comes back from Texas, you know, he said he told me I did some recruiting this offseason and hooped with him outside of legacy leagues, and Johnny and him play very similar. And he said, I'd never wear another color other than blue, but if we have the right colors,
What the hell is he doing in Texas?
I think he got a job, but that's a conversation that we'll keep for after the recording. But
we're gonna be talking about that.
As far as Joey goes, he's gonna have to do so much editing. I don't want to keep us any longer. This is probably going to be everybody's favorite podcast episode. I don't care if it's an hour and a half long.
One more thing I just want to say. For those of you who bitch and moan that all we do is talk about the Doogie Boys, I hope you're happy. We said all but like 2 things about us. So if you're crying, get a fucking tissue. Sorry to cut you off, PJ.
It's all right. But that's Spence. Before I give my last words, I want you to say thank you to everybody. And again, we thank you for being here. So we appreciate you. So give a little shout out to everybody.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all being here. First off, I want to say alhamdulillah. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing just to even be here. To be able to play, to be able to be in this space, to be able to be healthy, you know what I'm saying? Health is wealth. So it's a great thing to be here, man. Shout out to Joey. Shout out to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my mama. I should have said it first. My fault. Everything is good, man. Everything is good. Blessed by the best. So appreciate you, man.
All right. Well, that's gonna wrap up we had an extra podcast last week, so I don't even know what number we're on, but it's week 5. So that's going to wrap it up for the week 5 Low Post podcast. It's a long one. It's the best one. It's a great one. Joey, get on your editing. You're going to work your magic. You're going to have
He's going to be doing a lot of work.
Yeah, we love you. But thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week to the games. Tune in next week to the Low Post podcast. And I'm going to leave us with a quote since Danny's not here. Everybody remember, keep your stick on the ice. Good night.
Keep your stick.
This is the Legacy League. Tell me what will your legacy be? Yeah. This is the Legacy League. Tell me what will your legacy be? Yeah.